Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, Miss Mom.
How are you?
Good.
Good. So, boys and girls, today we are going to learn about haiku poem. And does anybody know anything about haiku?
It's like a Japanese poem.
It came from Japan.
Japan.
Very good. Devin.
The first line is 5 syllables, the second line is 7 syllables, and the third line is 5 syllables.
So there are 3 lines. The main focus of this lesson is to teach how to incorporate music and visual art to enhance the meaning of the poems they created. The reason why I've decided to use a haiku poem rather than any other poem is because it's really children friendly. They can pick any topic. What is my topic?
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Okay, so we are going to write about hot chocolate. Yes, it sounds exotic from Japan, but thing is, we're learning about different continents of the world so that they can make the connection to what they're learning in social studies as well. Sweet, warm, and cozy. Do we like that line? Yeah. It doesn't require a lot of complicated vocabulary for them to create a haiku poem. Then what's next? What would be a good one? Biram.
Hot chocolate is delicious.
What would be good for the last line?
It melts in your mouth.
I trying to target many expectation in a unit. So I gather all the expectations first, and then I think of what can I do. Okay, so boys and girls, here's a haiku planning sheet. So you're gonna pick a color just like we did earlier, and you're gonna brainstorm your color. Then you're gonna have your topic. And think of 5 senses. Like what can I do to tie all my expectations together to deliver the lesson? So when I looked at the language and they had to create a poem, that was one of the aspects that they had. And then when I looked at the music expectations, in grade 3 expectation, it says that children need to create accompaniment for either the storyline or the poem. So I thought, that will tie in well together. Then I looked at the visual art and go, there's a 3-dimensional. Well, then they can work something with a tissue paper that can create 3D dimensional, but also the background using 2-dimensional. So let's tie it all together. Let's add a sound effect to their haiku poem so that it can deliver all 3. Next lesson is art lesson. We are using a 3D effect to support their haiku poem. They're going to be using tissue paper, glue, and pastel. A pastel will give a 2D effect, and the tissue paper will give a 3D effect. And put it in, and continue to crumble them. Students respond to this instructional method by having fun.
Yeah? And what kind of mug should we use?
They have so much fun with them. And sometimes they create their own way. They might make it easier way for themselves, or they might go beyond above and what I'm presenting because they're having so much fun with it and they want to explore.
The most part I like is the art part. It was fun, and you get to use your imaginations and have fun, and you could make things and you could share with your friend.
I liked it when I did the art because my partner, he showed me how to make it crumpled more, and then he showed me how to make it on the edges and then put on the inside.
Okay, boys and girls, today what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce one of the musical elements called timbre. I integrate technology into my lessons by using flip chart on the Promethean board, gather examples from Teacher's Tube, and as for introduction of timbre music class, I used the music software from Ireland. For the final copy, students use the Finale software to publish their piece of music. The elements of music concepts I am reinforcing in these lessons are timbre and pitch. The element of music relating to the unique quality of sounds that allows us to distinguish between them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the blue mat with Ratchet, and 5 of you guys go. I think for generalist teachers, this can be quite intimidating. But the generalist teachers, they need to teach language. And especially with the teaching poem, you can go beyond above than just actually writing 3 lines or 4 lines of poem. Bringing some of the non-pitch percussion instruments like bells, it could be meat chime, triangles, castanets, drums, to explore. And sometimes you're not sure what you're doing. Let children, they're not afraid. Let them have fun with it. Give it to them and see what they're going to do with it. And sometimes when they have things in their hands, instruments in their hands, they can make such a great piece. They can create different sound. They can use they can be creative in rhythm. They can create simple rhythm on their own. They might not know what it looks like exactly on a piece of paper, but they can still, by ears, they can create something that can be part of language curriculum.
Music and language are related because like music sometimes like gives you an idea what the person is trying to say.
It's like sounds and the haiku poem will connect because when it blends in, the sound and the haiku poem will come together.
When we play with the instrument, maybe they might have an idea like, is it like happy or maybe sad, or like how is it going to be? They might have an idea of that.
Having organized classroom is very important, and especially putting labels in the music room for the instruments, because sometimes students wants to use certain instruments, and it's important that they learn actual names of the instruments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a little walk. Okay? And when Miss Wang point to your object, you get to play your instrument. Okay? So I'm going for a little walk. It's important for students to write their reflection after the exploring the instruments of September because students will make a connection to the text that they wrote, and they will understand the emotions of the text through the timbre of the instrument, as well as they will get a good sense of idea of their own way of describing the sound and how the sound can be expressed in the text. There is no right or wrong answer because this is their expression and this is their experimenting, and because this is their choice that they're making. And that's the reason why I asked them to explain why they chose that certain instrument for the certain object, because it's important to them to able to reason it and reasons why that they use this instrument. In this lesson, we're going to put haiku poem, and we're going to try to create a sound on each line, the first line, the second line, and third line, to adding instrument to create the mood. Okay, so let's say the first line together, boys and girls. Are you ready?
Sweet, warm, and cozy.
Okay, stop. So Sailaja, why did you pick that instrument?
Because it's says sweet, warm, and cozy, and this is like a soft feeling, and it's when you're drinking hot chocolate, you feel warm and cozy.
Also, do you think that sandalwood makes a soft sound and makes you feel cozy?
Yeah,
okay.
under like a blanket.
Oh, like a blanket. All right, very good. Sweet, warm, and cozy. Hot chocolate is delicious. It melts in your mouth. So your job is now to create your own. Remember, we did your haiku poem earlier? Do you have your haiku poem?
No more me time. Yeah. Okay.
The gradual release of responsibility, I think that's the most important part of being a teacher, and that the students to be able to work on their own. Without modeling, there's no way students will be able to produce what you're expecting. So you will model it, share it, do it together, put them into a small group, and then do it individually. By the time when it comes down to individual work, they will be able to do it really well.
I like working in a group because if I don't understand something, maybe my partner could help me. If my partner doesn't understand something, I could help him.
I like working in a group because if you were doing one thing, your partner could help you and do it faster.
Green is a bright day. Playful forest leaves are green. Soft grass is growing.
Waves are moving, sailing home. Waves are moving gently in the peaceful sea.
Hey, round of applause. Good job, boys and girls. Some of the assessment strategies that I've used is some of the worksheets that we already worked on it, as well as creating a rhythm. How did they come up to by the time they wanted to create the song? Why did they use certain melody lines, or why did they pick certain non-pitched percussion instrument to create the mood every line of their haiku? That will help me. But at the end, what I would be really looking for is the reflection from the children. What have you learned from this process?
We choose the rain stick because when it's coming home, it comes whoosh, like a water sound. Then we picked the waves to be the 3D, and we did the drums for the gentle sea, and we did this to be at the last the peaceful sea, because instead of staying home and going like a mom shouting at you, this is a peaceful sea at the ocean sea. Blue waves sailing home. Waves are moving gently in the peaceful sea.